Hello everyone, it's the first week in March and of course time for a new prompt in the Facebook group, the Mixed Media Emporium. Now the prompt for this month is mixed media techniques, and we're going to be sharing lots of fun mixed media ideas with you during the month. But the challenge for this week is paper marbling. You can see here that I'm going to be using shaving foam to do my marbling. You need the foam variety. Gel or any other type won't work for this. You need shaving foam. For those of you that are sensitive to smells, you can get the unscented variety, so feel free to use that if you want to. Mine is scented. I personally happen to like the smell. You are going to need something to spread your shaving foam out with. You're going to need some kind of tool, either the end of a small paintbrush or a skewer or a toothpick or something, just to make your patterns with, and some kind of tray to work on. Now I'm just working on an IKEA tray here. You could use something like a metal tin like this. You might want something slightly larger, just something to fit whatever size paper it is that you're going to be working with. These are just a few sheets of A4 paper that I have cut in half. I've got a mixture here of 200 GSM cardstock as well as 100 GSM regular copier paper. As I said, this is letter size, just cut in half, but you can clearly see that I could fit a full sheet on here easily with no problem at all. I've got this metal tin to the side of me to clear up any mess that I scrape off. I can just use this to scrape with. I've also got a tin over to my far left as well, filled with water just to clean things off, and kitchen towel. And the only other thing you're going to need is a variety of different types of paints. Now you're going to start off by spraying your shaving foam onto whatever tray or tub you're going to be working on. You want a reasonably thick layer. I've given mine a good old shake. Maybe it needs a bit more of a shake. Here we go. That will do fine. And then I'm just going to use a room key card here, this supermarket card, that type of thing, a loyalty card, just to spread my shaving foam out into a nice even layer. Now I have got myself a selection of different coloured craft paints here, and this was inspired by Susie. When I did my masterboard reveal a couple of weeks ago, where I shared all of the masterboards that I've created to date, Susie said I challenge you to using more natural colours, because of course I have a tendency to using really bright colours, and she said white, cream and grey. So I'm up for the challenge. So I've got here a grey paint. All I'm going to do is just squeeze a little bit of this on. Here we go. This smells absolutely gorgeous, but as I say, for those of you that are sensitive to smells, use the unscented variety. I've also got, in fact, actually, let me use the cream. I've got a cream and a taupe, so we'll just add some of this as well. Let's add that. I want to add some of this taupe. So this is going to be a really neutral colour scheme. In fact, I think I'll go in this direction. Oh, this one's a little bit thick. A lot of my craft paints I've had for a long time, and they really do need using up. And I'm going to add a little bit of white as well. Let's add that in this direction. And then I've got my paintbrush here, and all I'm going to do is just mix this up to create my marbled pattern. Let me just try and not scrape the bottom because of the noise. Let's see if I can do this quietly. Just look at this. How beautiful is that? I just love it. And I think that you've got to be careful not to overwork this, or you lose the wonderful patterns that you create. So just be mindful of that. So I'm just going to go over it one more time. You see, I think that's absolutely gorgeous. There we go, that will do. And then I'm just going to take a piece of cardstock. We'll start off with a piece of cardstock, and I'm just going to lay it on top of that pattern, that shaving foam, and really press it down. And what I want is for the paint to grab to the cardstock. So I'm just going to smooth it over like this and leave it down for a couple of seconds just to make sure that that paint definitely grabs. And then I don't know whether you can see underneath my my tray, I've got a piece of parchment paper. and that's what I'm going to use to scrape the excess shaving foam off with. And then I'm just going to pull it up. Here we go. Let's just reveal this. Move your tray out of the way, and you can see I'm just placing this onto my parchment paper. Let me just put this onto my floor. I've also got a plastic mat on the floor behind me as well, just so that I can dry my papers. Then I'm going to use the same plastic card that I used to even out the shaving foam, and I'm just going to wipe away the excess. And this is why I had the tray, because I'm just going to pop the excess shaving foam into the tray like this, just to limit the amount of mess. Let's go over that again. But isn't that just absolutely beautiful? So that's our first sheet done. I love the colours of that. Let's see what else we can do. Bring back my shaving foam, and what I'm going to do now is add a couple more colours. Now, when you're doing this, you want to be really careful that the colours that you add are not going to create a horrible muddy mess. I'm adding a green here, which I think goes really well with the neutral tones. So I'm just going to add some of this into the existing colours. So you can get quite a few pulls from that one piece of or one set of shaving foam, I should say. So we'll just, in fact, what I will do is I'll add some more of the grey as well, I think. Let's just add a couple more, and I think I'll add some more of that taupe as well. This is just experimenting, and it's just really, really good fun. And as I've said, it just smells absolutely wonderful as well. So again, I'm just going to move that around. Apologies for the noise from my tray. I think that's beautiful. Let's pop that into my tray, and I'm just going to stick another piece of paper on top. And let's pull this and see what happens with this one here. And I'm just going to see how many different pulls I can get from this one spray of shaving foam before we have to change it, before all the colours start to get muddy. So let's pull that up. There we go. Move the tray out of the way, pop that down onto the parchment paper, and then grab, where's my credit card gone? And then let's just see what this one reveals. And again, I'm just using a metal tray just to keep all of the excess here. And you see, I really like the pattern of that one there as well. Isn't that just beautiful? The colours are just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm just going to set this one off to one side to dry as well. Let me just hold it up so that you can see. Absolutely beautiful. This time what I'm going to do is just smooth the colours out. Let's just do this just so that we've got a better base to work with. There we are. Again, I can just scrape the excess away. I've got just a piece of tissue paper here as well, just to get rid of any excess mess. What do I want to do now? Again, I just want to use some of that green, and let's try and get darker and darker. And you see, I've got a completely coloured base to work with this time, which I think will be really nice. Let's just put some blobs this time, perhaps, and see what happens. I'm going to add the grey again. I really like how the grey works. Not too much of that. I've also got the most gorgeous blue here as well, sort of like a teal blue. What colour is this? Does it say cold grey? So let's see how that works. There we are. And maybe a little bit of white as well. Let's add some white. We'll perhaps go in this direction with the white. There we go. And let's lift that up. Oh, those colours are just absolutely gorgeous. So let's scrape this off and see what this one reveals. Oh, absolutely beautiful. The blue just adds so much. I love that. That is gorgeous. I love it. This is just so much fun. You just end up with some really, really beautiful backgrounds. So again, I'm just going to pop that to one side to dry. Let me just hold it up. I think we can get one more pull out of this before we need to change the shaving foam. I'm going to add some more of that gorgeous blue, that tealy grey blue, absolutely beautiful. And this time I'm going to add some fuchsia to it. Why not? And in fact, actually, I might add a touch of grey again as well. Oh, hang on, we've got a blobby. I don't want that in the middle of it. Tiny bit of the grey, that should do. Grab a piece of cardstock, and again, let's see what we end up with this one here, and then we'll try maybe some other mediums. Let's try something other than acrylic paint and see what we end up with there. So my idea with this video is just to give you lots of different ideas as to the types of things that you can use, as well as different colour schemes. I know I'm going to love this already. Isn't that gorgeous? Before I scrape this away, I'm just wondering what will happen if I lay another piece of paper on top of this. Let's try it and see if we can get maybe 2 prints from one. Let's peel it up and see what happens. And I think this is going to work actually. So let me just pop those there like that. Bring back my scrapey tool. And oh yes, so there we go, we can get a piece of paper as well as the cardstock. And I'm going to do the same with this one here. This one's a lot more vibrant, as you can see. I absolutely adore that colour scheme, that's gorgeous. Now before I bin this, I just want to try one more thing. I've added black, the fuchsia, and some more of this grey blue. So I'm just going to swirl this around as well, because I just think we'll be able to get a couple more prints before we have to bin this shaving foam. This is the one with the black in it. Oh my gosh, that's just gorgeous. So just by gradually getting darker and darker, you can just end up with some amazing tones. You can see all of the original creams and greens and the teals in this. It's absolutely beautiful. I'd completely forgotten how much fun this technique is. I've just had a really good clear up and I'm ready to get going again. Clear up was really easy because everything just washed straight down the sink. I'm going to try it this time with some metallic paints. I've got the Lumiere paints. These are by Jacquard. I bought these a few years ago by mistake, thinking that these were the Pinata alcohol inks, and they're not. These are completely different, and I've only ever used these once before, and they were just absolutely beautiful. So again, I'm just going to drop some colours onto my shaving foam. You can see that you know, this is a fresh batch of shaving foam, and this time I've just got all the greens and a turquoise. Let's see what we end up with. I've also got a gold that I might add a little bit later as well. So a couple of different shades of green. Let's just pop some of this down. Oh, this shaving foam smells absolutely beautiful. And I have noticed as well, my papers, the previous ones, are sat drying off to one side, and the smell is starting to go. So I think once they're dried, you won't be able to smell the shaving foam anyway. So this is the pearlescent turquoise. Let's just give that another shake. And we'll pop some of this down as well. Aren't those colours pretty? I love greens. As you can tell, because I've been using a lot of them in my projects recently, so it is my colour of choice at the moment. Here we go, a few blobs of that, and then back in with the old paintbrush again. No rhyme or reason, we'll just swirl things around. Here we go. As you can see, I've given that a good few swirls. Now I've pulled out some caddy paper. This is cotton rag watercolour paper. Let's try this and see what happens with the caddy paper, whether it soaks the inks in better than regular paper. So again, we'll give that a really good old smush. Let's pull this off and see what we end up with these metallic colours. Ooh. Again, I've got my squeegee at the ready, so let's just reveal what we get with this one here. I can already see how beautiful the metallics are. Let's just get rid of that bit at the corner there. I've got my tissue. Let me just put this in my tray. That's beautiful. I don't know whether you can see the shine from those metallics if I tilt it. Very, very pretty indeed. I'm just going to flatten out this colour here, and we'll add a few more, and I want to try it on black cardstock this time and see what happens with black. So I've added my greens, but this time I want to add a touch of gold as well. Now there's a couple of different golds in this set. This is sunset gold. And again, we'll just swirl away. Let's take some black cardstock and see if we can pick up any pretty colours using this. Metallics usually work really well on black, so I'm just really intrigued to see what happens on black paper. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I don't know whether you can see this, but look how pretty that one is. If I tilt it, you can see all the gorgeous colours. It might not be picking up on camera as well as it is when I can see it in front of my very eyes. It's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful, really pretty. Let me just show you my finished prints. I had completely forgotten how much fun it was to marble with shaving foam. It's nowhere near as messy as you think it might be, as long as you're prepared and you've got lots of tubs and containers to catch the excess mess. It's really doable, especially, you know, in a small space like this. But I just love these so much. So of course, you know, I'll go from the last one I made to the very first. So let me just show you these close up. They're all absolutely beautiful. I love them all. Isn't that green one pretty as well? That one reminds me of a Liberty print. Let me know what you think of these. And of course the very neutral one that I started off with there. Love those. I also ended up using the rest of the shaving foam as well. I pulled off a couple of extra prints after this one here. So there was this one, then this one here. I love that. I think that's gorgeous. In fact, it's probably better if I show you them this way round. Isn't that interesting? And then of course it starts to get muddier, but I still think that that's interesting. This was the one that I put on the back of this one here. So pulled it off, so you know, not quite so interesting there, but still pretty nonetheless. And then this one here I think is really interesting, because you saw that I was scraping off all of the excess shaving foam into that foil tin, and this was the print I pulled from all of the leftover scrapings. Isn't that just absolutely beautiful? It's so interesting. I love it. Then of course I did the metallic ones. I just love this one here. It's so fresh and beautiful. I just love the metallics. Absolutely gorgeous. I hope that you can pick up some of that shine on camera. Of course this was the second one and my least favourite, but I just absolutely love the one that I did on black as well. Isn't that stunning? Absolutely gorgeous. Of course I couldn't stop. I went on to do a few more natural ones, and I wanted to incorporate some black. So this was the first pull. I love this, and this just feels interesting because we've got loads of texture going on there. Then I added the greens. I ended up with these two here. I think those are beautiful. Let me just show you these. Isn't that stunning? The green one here. This, in fact, this one I think I had put on top of that one there. So love that. And then I started adding some black. So this was the first one I pulled. Really like that a lot. This was the second one, and then the third one here. I just think they're all really interesting. And finally, for anybody who's followed me for a long time, you may remember a video I did, oh gosh, probably 4 or 5 years ago, using nail polish. I marbled with nail polish. These were some of the prints that I pulled. I'll leave the link to that video in the description box below for anybody who wants to try it. But I love these. I must do something with these. These have sat in my stash. I'd completely forgotten about them until we decided to do this prompt. And again, this is another prompt that was requested by you at the back end of last year. Here's one that I've mounted onto a piece of cardstock, and some that I've cut into circles as well. But just look how interesting some of these are. Look at this one here. Isn't that just beautiful? You know, I've used lots of metallic nail polish in these. Let me just quickly flip through some of them. I've used some in projects as well, but clearly had some of these. Isn't that one pretty? Another one here, and some that I cut into heart shapes as well. So as I've said, I'll leave the link to this video in the description box below for you to have a look at if you want to as well. So just to recap, the prompt for this month is mixed media techniques, and the challenge for this week is to do some kind of marbling. Of course, I've shown you how to do it with shaving foam, and also given you some ideas as to how you can do it with nail polish as well. Again, I'll leave the link to this video here in the description box below, but you can choose any method you like, and I really look forward to seeing how everybody else decides to interpret the prompt this week. Now, don't forget to go and check out Kylie's video as well and see how she's decided to interpret the prompt. But if you've enjoyed my video today, as always, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. As I always say, it really lets YouTube know that you like what I'm doing. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know which is your favourite design. But thanks for watching. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.